Welcome, welcome. I'm Dave Knapp, man on the Manjaro. That's why I'm here. You are on the pen. That's why you're here. Wegovy, Saxenda, Victoza, Trulicity, Manjaro, Zepbound, that pen. And we talk about all things GLP-1 medications on this channel, including On the Pen Live, which is our weekly talk show on Thursday nights, every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Central. So make sure that you check that out. We've got a great show for you this week in the interest of Heart Awareness Month. Cardiologist Dr. Allo joins us on Thursday for an interesting discussion on weight loss. But I wanted to give you an update. I owe you an update on my Ozempic journey. So let me just not bury the lead. I will be going back on Manjaro. I should have a 12.5 milligram script arriving later this week. And let me just talk to you a little bit about why I made that decision. So when I first started using Ozempic, I did notice that Ozempic in the form of semaglutide seemed to be a bit more of a blunt object when it came to real appetite suppression, because when I would eat, I really would get that delayed gastric emptying mechanism and I would feel it. And I still do feel that greatly when I do eat. Now, what I did notice after a few weeks of being on it was that the food noise, as they call it, returned. And so just, thinking about food more frequently. And also this coincided with me going back on the road for work. And all of these things kind of came together and coalesced to, I think, probably contribute to an increase in caloric intake if I would have been really meticulously tracking. So basically, I started on Ozempic as my weight had kind of crept back up into the mid to upper 280s on Manjaro, where I had been down as low as about 275. And so I wanted to put the brakes on that. I was on the 15 milligram dose of Manjaro, so I didn't really have anywhere to go for weight loss. And I was just a little panicked that the scale was moving up because I hadn't really changed anything, right? In fact, it felt like I was watching things closer. So anyways, I switched over to Ozempic. I noticed that blunt object, that delayed gastric emptying, the GLP-1 mechanism of semaglutide is stronger than it is in Manjaro. It's just Manjaro has the GIP component, which I think turns out for me to be kind of a necessary ingredient. So after a couple of months, the weight really, I was able to sort of maintain through the holidays, right? And was kind of hovering in that 290 area. And over the month of January, my weight shot up 10 pounds very quickly. And I can't really attribute it to anything. I was moving more than I normally did. Over the last about 3 weeks, I have really put the brakes on that weight gain. I have increased my movement. I have been tracking the foods that I eat daily. And so all of this sort of helped to kind of put the brakes on that. But man, it was scary how fast it shot up from that 290 to 300. I sort of attribute it to the fact that Manjaro was likely working its way completely out of my system. And when it did, it was like a switch flipped. And so I've actually changed doctors. I'm using Flex Care now, and Dr. Kim is helping me out over there. And obviously, as we've had Lisa Fujioka over here on the pen the last a couple times in the last year, Lisa is helping me on the nutrition side. And so really excited to be part of that. I'm going to be sharing more about that later. But for now, the most important thing to know is that I will be back on Manjaro probably starting next week. And so semaglutide is a great medication, I think, probably for a lot of people. For me, it was clear that I kind of started at the higher tier of medication, a newer iteration, which would be Manjaro, which is a couple years newer than Ozempic. Ozempic is semaglutide, which is a GLP-1 receptor agonist, and Manjaro is also a GLP-1 receptor agonist, but is also a GIP receptor agonist. So you get two incretin hormones that it's acting on, and this really, I think, helps to drive down that food noise. I think it's very, very can't be understated how helpful that is in the weight loss side of things, just kind of turning that food noise off and just not really thinking about it, right? Neither of these medications for me have ever at any dose made me not want to eat. Definitely fuller, faster. Those first couple days of Manjaro, that's the same with Ozempic. The first couple days, I feel like the Ozempic maybe lasts a little bit longer for me. But I feel fuller for longer. And that's from the weight loss side of the things, that's what it's doing for me. But I really think that metabolically, the Manjaro was doing something for me that Ozempic is not. My blood sugars have been running about 5 to 7 points higher on average as well. So it doesn't do as great of a job at controlling my blood sugar either. So for those reasons, it'll be back on Mounjaro. I'm excited to start back again. I feel like it's a return to sanity at On the Pen, because who is man on the Mounjaro if man on the Mounjaro is man on the Ozempic? So that's the news. That's the update. I'm sure you all will have questions. It's very difficult to keep up with all the questions in the comments between all the channels, but I want to make a special effort for this video. If you have specific questions about my specific switch over from Ozempic to Mounjaro and now back, a lot of you have been with me for a long time on this journey, so there's probably questions that you have that I'm not covering in this video. I would love to answer those for you. So if you have those questions, please drop them in the comments below. I will do my darndest to respond to them. If you are a member of the media and you would like to reach out, or if you'd like to reach out on a more of an anonymous basis, you can email me at mounjaroman@gmail.com. It's another great way to get in touch. Make sure also that you check out, like I said, On the Pen, the Weekly Dose podcast, which is every week that drops. It'll be usually drops late Monday night. For the members of the channel, you're going to get a video preview of the Weekly Dose, which is awesome. And then it airs to the rest of the world later on in the week. That's the Weekly Dose podcast. You can check that out wherever you get your podcast. If you stop by, make sure you give it a 5-star rating and review. That would be super helpful to getting the word out. There's plenty of news in the world of GLP-1s this week, and I can't wait to do that update for you. So that's the update on Ozempic. You're talking about man on the Ozempic, going back to man on the Mounjaro. All is right in the world. I can't wait to give you an update on what that is like, jumping back into the 12.5. And I will be sure to give you some updates on that. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being the best part of what I do at On the Pen. You make this happen. Make sure before you go, if you have enjoyed this video, hit that like, hit that bell, and hit the subscribe if you're new here. We would love to keep you around. We do lots and lots of updates from the news world on GLP-1s as well as my own journey. So until next time, we will catch you on the next stream, which will be the Weekly Dose podcast coming up tonight. Thanks for being here.